Dracula, Impeachment, and Lenny Kravits are all on this day. Hey, welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is May 26th. It is the 147th day of the year. There are 219 days left in 2020. It's also the 21st Tuesday of the year. There are no holidays in the United States on May 26th, but since we missed Memorial Day yesterday, I feel we need to touch on it at least a little bit. Memorial Day is a U.S. holiday to honor and remember those who have died while serving in the military. Veterans Day is for anyone who served in the military honorably. Some people don't understand the difference, that's why I say that. But it is a day designed to raise our awareness about the nation's freedoms and the price that we pay for freedom. Every year, U.S. soldiers and their families pay that price. Memorial Day is a day of reverence and honoring those who have given their lives in the defense of this nation and its values. In 1971, Congress declared it a national holiday, which I thought it was done way earlier than that. I was kind of shocked to see that it was 1971, but okay. It also marks the unofficial start of summer. That's good. All right, let's see what else May 26th has given us. 1830, the Indian Removal Act was passed by the U.S. Congress. It was signed into law by President Andrew Jackson 2 days later. This authorized the president to negotiate with the southern Native American tribes for their removal to federal territory west of the Mississippi River. They say negotiate, but really, they just forced them. The act has been referred to as an act of systematic genocide because it discriminated against an ethnic group and it was sure death for a lot of them. This was definitely a dark time in our nation's history. 1868, the impeachment of Andrew Johnson ends with his acquittal by one vote. The primary charge against Johnson was he violated the Tenure of Office Act. This was a law put in place to limit the president's ability to remove certain people from office. The law was only enforced for like 20 years. It was eventually overturned in the courts. He had removed from office Edwin M. Stanton, the Secretary of War, and tried to replace him with the general. 1897, Dracula, a novel by author Bram Stoker, is published. It introduces the character of Count Dracula. It wasn't a bestseller when it was first published. It took a while to catch on. One thing led to another, and Sesame Street gets a Rain Man type vampire who can't quit counting. 1948, the U.S. Congress passes Public Law 80-557, which permanently establishes the Civil Air Patrol as an auxiliary unit of the United States Air Force. That's kind of cool. 1968, Iceland decides to switch sides of the road. Traffic changes from driving on the left to driving on the right overnight. As you can imagine, it took a couple days and a couple fender benders to catch on. The law was passed in 1965, under which the country would change to driving on the right side in 1968. They had plenty of time to get, used to this idea, but it still took them a little bit to actually make it happen properly. 1969, the Apollo program. Apollo 10 returns to Earth after a successful 8-day test of all the components needed for the forthcoming first manned moon landing, which is kind of cool. 1972, the United States and the Soviet Union signed the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty. This was an arms control treaty between the two nations on the limitation of anti-ballistic missile systems. 1998, the first National Sorry Day is held in Australia. This is a holiday used to remember and commemorate the mistreatment of the country's indigenous people as part of an ongoing process to reconcile between the indigenous people and the settler population. 2004, United States Army veteran Terry Nichols is found guilty of 161 state murder charges for helping carry out the Oklahoma City bombing. He didn't actually drive the van up, but he was an intricate part. I wish they had an eye for an eye law in this country. I'd love to see that dude blown up. Premiered on May 26, 1993, the movie Menace to Society is released. This was a great movie. I haven't seen it in years, but it was a great urban movie. I really enjoyed that one. 2011, The Hangover Part 2 was released. This movie was genius. Not the movie itself and not the comedy writing or anything like that, or the directing. Really, it was the advertising company that got us to pay to see what was essentially the same movie as the first one. Born on May 26th, 1907, The Duke, John Wayne, American actor, singer, director, and producer. I guess he was a singer. I never knew he sang. I didn't know he produced things either. 1964, Lenny Kravits is born. American singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, producer, and actor. His mom was an actress, was on The Jeffersons, and his dad was a television producer. So I guess he had two famous parents, and he became famous. It's kind of in the family. Died on May 26, 2008, Sidney Pollack, American actor, director, screenwriter. He directed more than 20 films, 10 television shows, and acted in over 30 movies or shows, and produced over 44 films that included The Way We Were, 3 Days of the Condor, and The Interpreter. He died at the age of 73 due to cancer. Alright, so that's today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.